Good morning. Daily game design time. I, yeah, still early on in post retreat euphoria. So there's some things to talk about, some things to debrief related to the retreat over the weekend. I got back home at around 11:15 p.m. A comedy of errors brought me back at that time, but we made it. I'm really amazed with the way the team pulled together, the way that everybody over the weekend volunteered in various ways. The retreat is a really special event, I think, in general, but it's a really special event to me in that we just finished our sixth one. There was never a guarantee that we would ever get past one. And we've had a lot of ups and downs. We've had a lot of interesting puzzles and challenges to solve and deal with. But I'm really impressed and grateful for the generosity of our people with their energy and their resources. Just incredible stuff. So it's really hard to describe how the value that people bring to my life, just by being present, by offering their help, their encouragement. Just one example that's so consistent among the gaming community. It seems small, but it's like such a big deal. And that is, I've been looking forward to a game called Luthier since I heard of it. It sounded really interesting. In fact, not long after I heard of it, I took my guitar in for repair and told the repairman about Luthier. I think that was like over a year ago. And so in that case, it's like this big beautiful game, and now I've gotten to know the designer a little bit, then publisher, and I was actually messaging him a little bit while we were playing, and so that was like a really special moment. But here's the key: it's that my friend Stefan bought like the most beautiful version of the game possible. It's whatever, the deluxe, the Kickstarter deluxe, whatever. It's this massive box, and all these game pieces are really like. Actually, I might be able to pull up some media from it. Here, I'll show you some details from the weekend. Luthier. So here's Stefan teaching.
The name, of course, they are associated with the musical era, so there is music, classic, and baroque.
You can see all the game pieces. There's the first player token was that conductor's baton. My friend Michelle. Michelle flew in from the mainland. Was a good friend of ours, active in the community, and haven't seen her in a while. And anyway, it was really special that she was able to come back and join us. I know I have a better video of the game at some point, like guaranteed. Oh, here it is. All the thoughtful detail put into the illustration and components, the iconography, everything. It's just gorgeous. And like I said, Stefan got all these like the fancy pieces and stuff. And there's a view of the orchestra. But the generosity piece, it comes in a couple places. First, it comes in with the fact that he bought this like super nice copy, right? He didn't have to. He could have gotten the retail copy, but he invested in an experience that he was confident people would enjoy. There's right, like he's not going to be playing this by himself. He could, but in general, Stefan is not he's not a solo player. But he bought the game with confidence that that his friends would value this experience that he wanted to offer them. So that right there, that's really, really cool. That's a big deal. So he saw value in that. He invested in the company and appreciates what they do. Dave, the designer and publisher, very cool guy and a very thoughtful guy, and I think he is worth supporting. And then he signed up over for the retreat. He signed up for a slot where he opened up the game for other players so that he could teach the game. And that's the other part of generosity. It's so huge in gaming, and I think in just hosting and being essentially being a good neighbor. Level of complexity. Have enough experience to understand very, very well how to teach a game is a big deal. And so, of course, then he spent whatever it was, 20 to 30 minutes teaching us this game in detail, being very patient with our questions, and that's something you see over and over and over in the gaming community because it's just a necessarily feature of gaming. Somebody's got to teach the game. So just an incredible community that we're a part of, and that I have, the pleasure of having joined a few years ago, and now I get the pleasure of hosting and serving this group. It's such a cool thing. It's a big deal to me, and I really value. Like these are now, after a few years, these are good friends of mine, and they show up, they pull their own weight, like, people, we can't do this for free, so we rent out this really beautiful gaming space. I think I can show some of it. So this is the camp. This is our, Camp Waianae up in Waianae Valley. So I showed up around 1 after doing a bunch of shopping with our cook, and people started trickling in after that. When we had a critical mass, then at one point there were the chairs and the tables were all stacked away, and none of this was set up, and within 10 minutes, the whole space was set up and organized. It just, like, people have been coming. We've had people who've come this was our 6th retreat. We have people who've come to all 6. Now they know the routine. They know the space. They understand what it is we do. So, seriously, once, there was, some number, I think we had, 5 to 10 people. They just swept through this whole area. Everything was set up. Everything was good to go. And similarly, we had people stay behind at the end Sunday evening and break everything down, put everything away, clean the kitchen, look at the bathrooms, throw all the games and the game library into bags and stuff. Just like people who paid to be there, who are willing to jump in at the bookends of the experience. But not just that. Every meal there was prep. Every meal there was cleanup. Every day we try to offer these games that people can sign up for. And what was really cool was Friday night. To be honest, I was feeling pretty overwhelmed on Friday. We've had some challenges with our own team, as far as just I don't know. There's not a whole lot I can say on that, but there were some important things that I wasn't thinking about because I'm not used to thinking about them. I didn't slow down and anticipate some of this stuff. And so I ended up taking care of a bunch of things. I probably could have asked for more help. Just because, like I said, we have a lot of generous people. But I just my main thing there is for people to come and have a nice time, and if I can carry as much weight as possible, I'm going to do it. I know that's not a great long term game plan, but that's important to me. And then just the fact that we had a little change in our team, a significant change. One of our friends, she had to step back, take a break. There were a couple pieces that I did not pick up and delegate well that I didn't nail down, and so and some things that I usually do that because of whatever was going on, I didn't do. I didn't get it done as efficiently as I should have. So Friday evening, I was just kind of feeling slammed and like I had too much to do. And but anyway, at one point in that evening, and part of it was putting together the schedule. At one point, a few of the guys gathered around, and I just kind of went through with them and asked, like, what are you guys willing to teach? It'd be great to have some stuff on the schedule. So we talked about it. We just put some stuff. We picked some times for Saturday. I printed out some sheets, and then suddenly we had a really cool experience to offer because people had options. Because what I hate to see, to be honest, it's not on any individual. But what I hate to see is somebody who comes to an event like this and just sits alone for hours. It happens because when people split up into games, games often have a limit, right? Like a player count limit and stuff like that. And also there are groups that know each other, especially those who come on Friday. There's just a pattern of a lot of the same. The people who come on Friday, they tend to be the regulars, and so they kind of know each other, and they've got their plans for the weekend. And so I saw it happen Friday night, and I'm not cool with it. At the same time, I feel like I had a lot of stuff to do that I wish I had delegated. So there were a couple people that just, they set up a game. They had a sign that said players wanted, and we just didn't have the people. We didn't have people jump on those moments or pull those people into games. So I realized how important it is to make sure to have something. If you don't have a group, you didn't make a plan. If you don't have those details in place, that you have something to do, that there's an option for you. You can sign up with something. There's something going on that you can just kind of generally participate in. And eventually we got it going. Like there's a guy James that came and offered to host Blood on the Clock Tower, which is sort of it's a mafia / werewolf type game, social deduction. But there's just a lot more going on. And anyway, so later on in the evening he hosted and everybody jumped in. I'm just kind of clicking through some videos now. We had just a great time. Got the food going. We flew in Jessica from Big Island. She was an amazing last minute solution to big problems we had. Like we went through a few people who could potentially be our cooks, and it never. We had our one friend. He was lined up to come, and then ended up he was double booked, and then it took weeks and weeks to figure out who could be the backup. Anyway, so Jessica came to mind, and then suddenly, the pieces were all coming together. Food is something I fight for. I think, if you come all the way out to Waianae, you need to trust us to take care of your needs, and yeah, so you're not. We don't want you to be driving into town every few hours to get food, or we don't want to feel like you need to get out there, cook up. We actually don't really have the ability to to have people do all their own cooking. But anyway, what I love is the meal times where, oh, these were our this okay, so this was not all but most of the cleanup crew, the people that stayed behind and really put a lot of energy into making sure that I mean, if think about like each one of these people cleaned up for not an hour, maybe it was 30 to 45 minutes. Let's say 30 minutes. Okay? So if they didn't the guy taking the photo is officially on our team. There's one or two other people that would be technically volunteers, but everybody else, like I said, everybody else paid to be here. And so if you figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then a few people, like let's say a handful, 5 or so took off, let's say 25. If those 25 people total just left us with the bag, did not help clean, didn't do anything, they said, well, we paid to be here, so we're not gonna do this kind of work or whatever. If they had that kind of attitude, which is totally reasonable for an event that you invested in, and you said, I'm gonna come and play games, but that's all I'm doing, that's all I signed up for. Okay, if that was your attitude, that makes complete sense to me. But this is not the attitude of these people. And so if you figure there were 25 people and everybody spent, it was more than 30 minutes, but let's just say that it was 30 minutes on average. 750 minutes of man hours. So that's over, is that over 6 hours? So you figure if that was just, 1 or 2 or 3 of us that had to clean up, it's an insane amount of work. And it would take us forever, but we were able to sweep through the space and get everything done in a fairly short amount of time. We had these raffle winners and stuff. Anyway, just great people, great community. And I was really grateful that we had such a great group come out. So you can imagine I'm still thinking about a lot of stuff. There's still actually a fair amount to do because I left a lot of stuff at the conference office that will need unpacking. My car is still full. I have 3 full days here coming up, starting at 8 a.m. my time. I start conferencing with students about their papers. So I did this before where I have Monday through Wednesday pretty much booked solid with one-to-one conferencing with my students. And so it's like it's the sort of thing that, wow, I don't know, it's going to take a while to really get things all buttoned up, wrapped up. But yeah, it was such a good time. It's really a special thing. So we are going to do another we're going to claim the weekend. It's actually Easter weekend. So I don't know how people feel about that. But we're going to get on the calendar for next April. And every time I feel like, oh, are we going to have to drop back down to one retreat a year? Are we going to have to, I don't know. It just feels like every time there's interesting challenges. You never know how many people are going to show up. We lose people for various reasons, or they're busy this weekend, or they move away, right? That kind of stuff. But the weekend was really special, and I think it's worth doing twice a year. It takes a lot of work. I need to learn to lead better, to delegate better, to choose a team appropriately and thoughtfully, and all of these things are challenges for me. But in my view, it's somehow it's worth it. Like it's cool. This is our 3rd year. This is our 6th retreat. It's a really special thing. So anyway, thanks for sitting through a bunch of this discourse. So our next one will be, like I said, it should be. I haven't officially put it on the schedule, and I may, just check in with our team to see if that works for them. But it should be Easter weekend. That's the first weekend in April. So if you're available to come out, would love for you to join us at Camp Wine. I believe we'll be up there. It works out. It's not perfect. There's a reputation of Waianae that people don't necessarily feel safe going up there. To be honest, the cabins and the sleep. Like, we had a bunch of people, several people who just they first of all, the gaming is attractive and the cabins don't work great for them. And anyway, so people are super sleep deprived. And I learned that my friend Stefan, the guy that taught luthier, he takes 2 days off after the retreat to recover. Because he learned that the Tuesday after is the one where everything hits hard. So anyway, it's not a perfect venue. It's not I'm sure the timing won't be perfect for everybody, but I think we'll go ahead with it and offer another one of these. As somebody else said last night, lucky number 7. Okay. So I want to get back into ADRA HQ. I don't know why, but for some reason Discord doesn't behave super well all the time. Like, why doesn't this load? I don't understand. It wants to. It's thinking about it. It says it's doing something. But I'll go back to the prototype. Oh, you know what? Good news. Let's go to BGG. And should we check our geek mail? No, I know what it says. It says this. It says a game exists called Sugar Shack. So that got approved, I think, like early this morning. Artisanal maple syrup makers compete for the favor of the local townsfolk. I like that. So now the thing to do is add a few images, and this also takes a little approval process. I think I could actually get it. It would take some time, but yeah, I would probably choose a couple of my prototype images, and then just the probably just like the card back for the main image. It's cute. It's not, it's nothing special. Board game submission approved. That's cool, right? Yeah, so how to set a primary image. They just talk you through some of that stuff. You received 3, what is this called? I forget. Geek money, geek dollars. Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. So it basically claimed a little piece of territory on Board Game Geek. It's a big deal. And I think with that, I'm ready to jump back into ADRA HQ. Let's rename this. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to... It's a funny thing that so for some reason my Bluetooth keyboard isn't working, so I'm using my laptop. I just pulled it off of my stand. And a funny little thing about my laptop is the letter Q on the keyboard does not work. I don't know why. So I have to like copy and paste a Q. I want to type Q. Thankfully, there are plenty of Qs floating around, so it's not a real problem. So currently, here's this prototype that that Gemini built for me spontaneously, And so I'll play through again, and I think we have yeah, there's a fair, oh, Discord is slowly showing itself. Right? Because it was white before, now it's black. I don't typically drink energy drinks these days. There was a time, there was a time when I was drinking them more regularly. Yeah, there's the Paverson. I actually don't know that I remember hearing. It's a coin flip for me, but here's Dave Beck. This is the luthier guy. A friend of mine is designing something that I'm pretty sure Paverson is signing, but I'm not certain. So that's how I met him, was that my friend Ann invited me to a playtest where he was like evaluating the game. So that was pretty special. Okay, so what I wanted to do was see what sort of notes we had from the last playtest. Oh yeah, so it was 10-3. I don't know, somehow somebody let me on OBS, because it says like it's the 6th of October today, right? And I just realized that until today it said that it was August, like 8 something. How did that happen? You know what? Somehow I feel like, and maybe it's my whole life, it's felt like this, but I felt like October is an 8. I don't know why. There's no reason for it, but I've just always felt like like October was the 8th month. No reason for it at all. Anyway, energy drink. I had somebody left one for the weekend, and it was on the table. I took it. It was on the table of things to get thrown out, and so when everybody left, threw that in the bag, and because I need to I was already kind of running late, so I need to transition to talking with students not long after our time together ends. Yeah, so I'll play through again really quick, because it is 5 minutes or less, right? So our friend Josh Yogi is the funniest guy. Like, he doesn't sleep very much. He and a couple other guys stayed up all night Friday night, and they just catnapped like a little bit throughout the day. To me, that's insane. Like, I would be fully dead. My neck would be killing me. I would be in the process of dying shortly if I stayed up all night these days. Anyway, he just texted our little campaign group chat saying he slept for 5 hours. Like, that was a big deal. Like, he must have been so tired that he just woke up from a 5-hour nap. That was crazy. Okay, I'll click through the game. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I think I can shrink this a little bit. Just get the whole thing in view. Okay, I don't love the icons. I wonder if I can have Gemini change the color. Let me try this. For the, what to call this? The canvas prototype. They are all very different colors. Let's see what it does. So it'll take a little bit to rebuild this if it figures it out. Because right now there are 2 purples with very similar icons two greens, or very similar greens with also very similar icons. And so that's just not cool. Like, so just changing one of the purples, changing one of the greens will be great. Especially the blues and cyans. No, it's the purples. And the greens. Because cyan is what? Is a blue, right? It just made these icons too. Like, I didn't ask for any specific icons. Seven highly differentiated colors. Thanks. The stream seems to be holding up okay. You know what was amazing? So I have my laptop sitting in front of me. There we go. There we go. They are weird colors. But they are different colors. So we get this light blue for water now. This like puke green for something. Oh, shelter, I think. And okay, there's still a purple. The red's looking pretty good. The green is super bright. This one, whatever this is brown now. So it worked. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. Well, let's play. I just had the what was his name? Who is the what's the name of the show? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? No, that can't be the name. What's the name of that show? It is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Yeah. Who is this guy? Who used to be the host of it? Regis Philbin, of course. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Did anybody else hear that when I said, now it's time to play or something? I forget what I said. Okay, now we've got ADRA HQ on the table. Let's start the mission. Okay, right away I see that there are two blues. So that was great. Just resolve that one right away. It is the next player's turn. I'll just do two here as well. Can't finish it. These cards are not great, so draw a card. Looking for two reds. There are not two reds. There are no reds. But I'm gonna change focus because I feel some time pressure here. I'm gonna go south. Now we're just looking for one blue. There is no blue. This one's gonna draw. Yellow. This one's also gonna draw. Okay, we needed one more blue. We've got it. So that resolves. And then refocus or leave it. I think we'll just pass, skip the second action. Draw probably. Need reds. I haven't seen any reds come out yet. So pass or draw. Draw. Okay. We got something here. Nothing. Oh, one. Skip the second action. So we just need a yellow, so that's perfect. I'm gonna skip the second action. Okay, this is a huge one. I think there's not. I think I'm gonna refocus to the east. So at least we'll start working on those. Oh, here it is. Okay, skip the second action. So just looking for we need one more of those lined ones. I'm going to go to ADRA. Flip. Okay, perfect. Skip the second. I'll maybe come back down to the south, this big one. Wow, out of all these cards, nothing helps. There's 3 symbols. Okay, draw, I guess. Just 1, 2, so that's not great. I'll do this, skip the second one. Not helpful. Not helpful. Yeah, this is not good. This one helps a little bit, but it's not great. There's 1, not great. Draw, draw, draw. Yeah, there's something going on here. Because we're just not getting any of the right symbol. Like, I also kind of wonder if this is a Gemini problem. Like, how is it possible that we're not, that we're not getting the symbols we need? Oh, the south is cleared. There's only a minute left. And the other ones, we haven't gotten a whole lot done. Let's do this. Let's go with that. Okay, these ones should go pretty fast. I'm going to go north. 1. Okay. This is something. They just need a red. There's not one red. There's a red. Ooh. Reds were not coming out, so not great, but something. Skip. So 10 seconds left. Skip. 1, 2. We'll go east. Okay, 8 of 12, so it was faster, but it still feels like an issue. Like there's something about this needs these player abilities. I mean, it feels like there needs to be a little more flexibility if the right symbols are not coming out. So I can imagine doing something expensive like discard any 2 cards for 1 symbol. So that would be really sad, but I can see it. That'd be horribly wasteful, I feel, but maybe you're just in that situation. You have a ton of cards in your hand because you've been drawing and you're not getting the right icon. So it might make sense. I'm gonna see if I can add that actually. possible action. Discard 2 cards. Oh, this is not going to be good in what's going to happen to it, actually? I'd like to... discard any 2 cards from your hand to satisfy any 1 icon requirement. Yeah, I can't type requirement, but that's cool. I think it's probably going to have to build this another extra button or something, and so I think it's going to be very, very clunky here, but it would make a lot of sense in person. Actually, no, it wouldn't make sense, because if the cards are stacking up, then let's say you do this at the very beginning of if somebody does this when you start to satisfy these symbols. Oh, hey, Mike. Well, I still think there's some issue with... Well, I guess that's why I'm not sure if this is a game problem or a Gemini problem. If the icon's just not coming out, it feels like there needs to be something. I mean, I think even last time we talked about player abilities, or sorry, character abilities, to be able to handle some of this kind of stuff. But it seems weird to me to have player abilities. Well, but Reef, I am with you. So the only time it's an issue is if you have no options. You can't refocus and you can't play. But refocusing. Oh, okay. Actually, I think you're right in that it would be very, very unusual for all 4 players to not have something that would help. That would help on some... What was that? Like, it'd be insanely improbable if no player could help on any given challenge card. Right. Well, then what if that happens? What if all the players are just like, well, let's just draw all the cards? Why just wait around? Why don't we just spend all of our turns drawing the whole deck, and then just playing the cards as necessary to satisfy these things? So that does make me think, as you can imagine, of hand limits, or a hand limit. But that might be a character difference. Is that what if one character has no hand? No, what if one character has a hand limit of 10 or something like that? Then it's a hodgepodge of balancing to use the best card for the job. Yeah, it would definitely take time. And I guess, I don't know, I figure the card layouts will be so good that you should have a pretty easy time seeing what symbols you have. I'm gonna try that. So I'm just gonna draw everything. Oh, I have the rule in here that if you draw your last card, then you like deck out like magic. So there's that. I'm gonna draw a bunch though. Just see if this helps. So 6 cards left. I'm gonna play with 4 cards left, see if this helps. So I'm basically looking for... Ooh, because I still have to refocus, but here's 1, 2, 3. So that's cool. Refocus to, I don't know. Probably skip. So I don't think I would spend a refocus until... I don't think I'd spend a card to refocus until... Oh, I can refocus here. I'm gonna go east. Let's go for this big boy. 1... Nothing? No, that's the thing. Oh, 3. That was huge. I just need 2 of those. Let's go to the... Oh, free refocus. Let's go to the north. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was a good pull. Let's go west. Do that. Okay, now I would like to have a single, but doesn't have one. Let's refocus south, sure. So there's a good one for us. That's good. Spend 1 to refocus probably. Let's go west. Okay, nothing great here. Skip. 1, 2. Okay, now we just need a bunch of reds. Don't have them. There's a red. We'll go east. So there's just over 2.5 minutes left. There's 1. Nothing useful in this hand, and there's only 1 card left? How's that possible? I thought I stopped with like 4 cards left. Oh, maybe I've been drawing. Oh, because I have to draw. No, I can refocus and then skip my... I'll come here. Discard to refocus, go south. And then I've got the greens. Okay, that was perfect. We'll go east. Red, whatever this is. I'll draw. So it's a little risky for me here. See, I feel like I didn't waste that many symbols or that many icons. So I don't know what's happening here. I think I need to discard to refocus, but that means I'm in pretty big trouble icon wise. I think that was a good one. There's no purple. Okay, and then skip. No purple here. So I need to discard to refocus. Go west. Skip. Oh, that was maybe a bad choice. Can't do anything here, so I need to draw. So I guess the rule that I have in place is if I need to draw and I cannot. Yeah, so this one has nothing useful. Like anywhere. There is no card where any of these icons are useful. So that ends the game. I think I need to do a quick inventory of the icons. That are in each player's. I did this before. Give me a breakdown. Oh, it could also mean that 24 icons per player. "24 icons per player." Wow. Okay. Now the total icon breakdown for the challenge cards. That's because how many cards? Utility of the player is largely determined by why challenge cards are randomly put in the deck. It's largely determined by why challenge cards are randomly put in the deck. Okay. Yeah, well, right, because there are only 12 currently. There are 12 in each game. 12 of, I don't know, potentially. Did we put 24? Yeah, like what's going on here? This is not right. I don't remember asking for this. Because I think with the icons in each player's deck, every deck has all icons, but the distribution is different based on like the skills or the strengths of that character. So you can see like the first responder has high water, food, and tent / shelter. The doctor has high medical and higher food and water. The teacher has high education and development. And then the builder has high shelter, tools, and development. So those are nicely distributed. And these are not nicely distributed, first of all. So the cards, they're across 28 cards. There are 28 cards, and why are there 28? Your random seed of the challenge card, teacher and builder are less utilized. Yeah, that's right. I think I think this is not. I think this is not. Oh, you're right. No matter what. Well, I think it would be to reduce the number of challenge cards in general. That would obviously give us a more yeah. So one way is to reduce the number of cards so that the range of possibilities is narrower. So that would produce a more consistent experience. Another thing would be to give the players more cards with more icons. So rather than have these peaks so steep, there are 8 medical icons. Or no, this is the most intense. There are 9 and 7 of a particular type of icon. An icon hierarchy. That sounds you're gonna need to 4 common, 3 uncommon, 1 rare. Now, is this something that players would be aware of? So an icon hierarchy. Then the rares might only be on cards with multiple resources. You know what we don't have is a wild resource. Maybe is that what you're thinking about with some like a rare? Rares might be only on cards only be on cards with multiple. Like the rares only on a couple challenge cards. So you're really only talking about distribution stuff, right? Yeah, because well, even if there was a rare type per character, and there kind of is. There already is a kind of main. There's a main theme, except for first responder. The teacher wants books. The doctor wants medicine. The builder wants tools. Medical cross, book, tools. Oh, the seedling. No, that one's more shared. But the first responder, I guess, would have just more of an even distribution of the main the water, food, and shelter, I guess. Huh. Do you think, Mike? Do you think this has a serious impact on my thinking that each player should be able to you should be able to play solo, or no, solo would still be two-handed, I think. Maybe shuffle together two characters, but there should be some amount of overlap between each character. So if you had a card that was common, rare, and there was a challenge that I could fulfill with the two commons, would I want to use that card that has a rare on it? I like that. I think I'm following that idea. Does it have a serious impact on to play the game with two characters? Uh-oh, don't do that to me. I don't know why it says there's no data sometimes. Yeah, I would like for players to be able to Yeah, I like that. So that's kind of what 5 Minute Marvel does. It just you draw a bunch of cards from this like shared deck, so you have a kind of guarantee. You have a kind of guarantee that you're going to have certain symbols, and then beyond that, each player has their own little deck. So even if we wouldn't have to separate them here, still that thinking would apply. Like there should be a... Yeah, I like that. Let me see if I wonder if I can prompt Gemini about this. Let's see what it comes up with. Where the icon distribution doesn't seem quite right. And yeah, at least until you've locked the game. So it's the demand. So it's something about the rarity of demand, but then also the rarity of supply, and that the rarity of supply is organized by character type. Whereas the rarity of demand, like so in the challenge cards, there doesn't need to be a whole lot of like that would, in this case, it's really just rarity across all challenge cards. In the character decks, it's a rarity within each deck. That makes sense to me. And that, because that's really about specialization. I want to distribute icons through the challenge cards, icons among the challenge cards and within each character deck that that aligns with this thinking. So I'm going to try it. I'm basically going to try to feed it what I'm understanding from you, Mike. So in the challenge cards, first of all, I think I want to reduce the number of challenge cards for now. I'm going to put that down here. Challenge cards to 24. The challenge deck should have different rarities, different numbers of icons, some being rare, and let's say medical, what was the other one? Books, a medical cross. Books, tools, and what should the other one be? Maybe shelter? Because I imagine food and water is pretty much like useful all the time. Some being rare, some being uncommon, and let's make that seedling. Oh, that's about all that's left. So I think maybe the first responder should be a little more evenly. So I'm going to take this out. So some being uncommon, and those are 2 being uncommon. Let's try that. 2 being uncommon, seedling, shelter. And that leaves, and 2 being common. So that would be water and food. The player decks should reflect a similarly differentiated distribution, but focused on their character type. For example, oh, like a kind of story mode type of thing. I think you can make some scenarios possible. I agree. I do need to head out. I'm gonna finish this prompt and then I've got to go. I just have like 10 minutes left before I need to talk to students, and I haven't eaten breakfast, and I'm tired. So this is gonna be an interesting, heavy day. And then of course I can hopefully nap at some point, and then we've got games in the evening. I'm just gonna give it this prompt and see what it does. As you work on it, please give me a breakdown of the new distributions. Yeah, I think I could add a story mode would be cool. It's so funny. What is it? There's a term I like to use. Sycophantic. Or no, maybe I've seen that before. Maybe I've heard that these AI bots tend to be sycophantic. Maybe that's what. I think I might have read that in an article or something. This is a massive and excellent structural change. Well, it's because of Mike. Mike is excellent. Rarity tiers are crucial for ensuring strategic specialization and tension in a real-time game. I have completely re-engineered the icon economy across the entire game to match your new rarity targets and the new card counts. Here's the breakdown. Okay. What? The 24 challenge deck, 6 cards from each of the 4 thematic categories, is now distributed to reflect the following rarity tiers. It's funny that it put the rares and the uncommons. They have the same number of symbols of icons. I don't know why that makes sense. Okay, but anyway, Mike, as always, thanks for your input. I'll see you soon. Thanks to anybody else who jumped in and is checking this out. I'm excited about ADRA HQ. Now it's just, I think the concept, the skeleton is mostly there. Not all there, but mostly there. Still looking for probably some player abilities, or some significant or essential tweak that's gonna fix several problems at once. Looking for that little silver bullet. But anyway, this rarity idea, it sounds helpful. Gemini doesn't seem to have understood it, but anyway, we'll come back tomorrow, take another crack, have another crack at it. So again, thanks a lot, have a great day. I'll see you soon.